There's been a massive recall on over-the-counter medicine, and it is best that you share this to everyone you know, as you can never be too careful, especially with your kids.
If you do some shopping at the Family Dollar, there is a massive recall you should know about.
Yeah, the dollar store recalling hundreds of products, including several popular medicines, even toothpaste. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains why in today's Recall Roundup.
Family Dollar is recalling a slew of products, toothpaste to Tylenol. Various eye drops, antacids, vitamins, and more are off the shelves. Many over-the-counter meds and personal products were stored outside the labeled temperature requirements, according to the FDA. The products were sold between June 1st and October 4th. You can return them without a receipt and get your money back.
And while you may get your money back, it's still awful to think that this kind of a mistake can happen in 2023. I mean, one store would have been bad enough, but these products are being sold in 23 states. Now, I checked the list, and believe me when I say that if they try to talk about all of them on this video, we'd have like 4 of these videos. It is that bad. Just to note a few of the ones that caught my eye, there's Flintstones chewable tablets, that's for kids, Swan Kids mouthwash, again, for kids, Tylenol Child. I mean, you can see where I'm going with this, right? A bunch of the stuff that they're recalling are for kids, and well, that's extremely alarming if you guys ask me. So did you buy anything from there lately? Might be best to get a refund now. Now, on the topic of alarming, Sheila Barr, who's known to have seen the subprime mortgage meltdown with her very own eyes, she says the housing market in 2023 is incredibly hot. Too hot for us to handle, as the median home price back in 2019 was just $278,200. These days, that number has ballooned up to $407,100. She calls it a bubble that just shows supply-demand imbalance. Now, if I ask you guys right now, do you think that we're seeing a housing bubble? Is it now just a literal dream for some people here in the country to own a home? Or is this bound to get better as time goes by? You know what? If you guys are contemplating that, make sure you guys smash the like button. It really helps out a lot with the YouTube algo. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any of these updates that relate to all of us right here in our country. Appreciate the love, you guys. Now, from the housing market, let's go ahead and switch over to the automotive one, where Ford has just up and said, this is all we can do for our workers.
Ford says there's not much more it can offer to end a strike at its factories in the US. The stoppage escalated sharply this week when the United Auto Workers Union ordered a walkout at the firm's Kentucky truck plant. That is Ford's most profitable factory, accounting for about 1/6 of its revenue. It makes big SUVs that are among some of the company's top-earning products. On Thursday, a senior Ford executive said Ford was at the limit of what it could offer on pay, though it could still reallocate money within its current offer in further bargaining. Ford says the Kentucky stoppage could push its supply chain towards collapse, and it says the strike may just slash profits and end up harming workers. But UAW boss Sean Fain insists Ford and other big automakers can do better than the current offer of pay rises of up to 23%.
Our strike is working, but we're not there yet.
Now, do you guys agree with him? Are the strikes working? Because while Ford says that they're at their limit, the union is now expecting a counteroffer that will provide them with even more. Now, at this point, it's pretty much up in the air as to how all of this is actually going to pan out, but I'm pretty much guessing that things are not going to get better anytime soon. And since we're all talking about strikes, let's now move on to layoffs, as PNC Bank will now be having layoffs throughout their entire company because they set a target to cut expenses by $50 million this fourth quarter.
PNC Bank is laying off employees. A PNC spokesperson telling KDKA they've reviewed the bank's organizational structure, which will result in, quote, a reduction in staffing levels in certain areas. While these decisions are never easy, we believe these measures will help us more effectively and efficiently deliver our customers and stakeholders now and going forward. PNC not saying just how many people are being laid off. Just 3 months ago, PNC cut jobs in its mortgage and home equity groups.
This is going to get their full year target up to $450 million saved by 2023. And even though they're not the biggest of banks, we should expect a lot of people to be let go within the end of the year. Now, to be honest with you guys, I got a feeling that we're going to see even more of this in 2024, as more and more companies are going to have to be shaving off costs wherever they can. But at least they're finding ways to save money, right? Other companies are now forced to file bankruptcy, and well, another one bites the dust. Blue Harvest Fisheries is one of the biggest ground fish permit owners in the East Coast. The problem is they just filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Blue Harvest Fisheries has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. The filing occurred in the U.S. federal court in Delaware on September 8th, about a week after it was revealed that the company would be shutting down after 8 years in business. Bulu Harvest has filed 9 separate bankruptcy cases, including 40 individual LLCs. Estimated assets are listed at between $50 million and $100 million. Estimated liabilities are listed as between $10 million and $50 million.
Now again, this is something that we've seen a lot in 2023. So you got to ask, what's coming for 2024? Well, I can tell you for a fact that it's not going to be great news. If a miracle does happen, great, but with our current trajectory, it just kind of seems extremely unlikely. Now, some of you guys might be asking, what trajectory are we on exactly? And to that, I say the trajectory wherein companies, both big and small, are going to have to take price hikes so that they can make ends meet. Prices that not many consumers may be able to continue to deal with. Now, the latest hike comes from none other than Chipotle, even though they said earlier this year that they're taking a break from raising prices.
Well, how much more are you willing to spend on a burrito? Chipotle is upping their prices again. This is the 4th time in just 2 years the company raising their prices. More on this, Yahoo Finance reporter Brooke DePalma is here to break it down for us. Brooke, Chipotle is an interesting story because they were among the first, if not the first, to raise prices as we saw this push for inflation. But the company sort of said earlier this year they're going to pause that. What has changed?
Yeah, Kiko. Well, certainly the company said that they were keeping a close eye on the cost of ingredients over the past year, and now they're sharing a similar tone. A spokesperson telling Yahoo Finance that for the first time in over a year, we will be taking a modest price increase to offset inflation. Now, once again, Chipotle had raised prices throughout 2022. Then they announced a pause on plans earlier this year. But this comes after CFO Jack Hartung had weighed in on that pause in a Yahoo Finance interview back in April. Take a listen.
In our case, we don't have any plans to take any price increases. We're going to watch what happens with all of our ingredients, not just, if some go up, hopefully some will go down.
Now, Akiko, here's what changed. In July, when the company reported in the last quarter, it missed on same-store sales estimates, and that sent shares to plunge in after-hours trading following that report. And in their earnings call, Brian Niccol said, he sort of somewhat hinted at a potential price hike. He said that the brand is very strong, the value proposition is very strong, and he said that we have that pricing power to use. Now, there's no word yet on how much exactly Chipotle will raise prices or when they will raise prices. But one analyst that I spoke to, Andrew Charles of TD Cowen, he said that TD Cowen believes that the price increase will go into effect halfway through Q4, and it could be a price increase of 3%. But once again, that certainly remains unknown when or how much that will go into effect. But certainly Chipotle thinking twice about that pause on price hikes.
And this is also going to be a trend for 2024. Even more price hikes for food and just about everything else that we need. But hey, that's just how things are going right now. Now, if any of you guys feel like, we're going in a different direction, feel free to correct me down in the comment section down below. Before I go, I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for dropping a like for the video. Keep safe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.